Hey yo, what it do? Welcome back to the channel. I haven't done one of these videos in a while. Just kind of talking, it's a little discussion session for all of us, and I'm recording this on a Monday, so this is Monday, May 16th. So this is about almost a full week since, Young Thug and Gunna got hit with the Rico. Oh boy. That Mexican nigga named Rico come around the block. This is gonna be one of those weird videos. This is gonna be like one of my discussion videos. I really don't make a script. I just kind of have like bullet points I want to get towards. But man, the four-letter word, that no gang, no hood nigga, nobody want to hear. Rico. Yo, El Rico? Nah, cause Young Thug and Gunna got hit with the Rico. Also, when they and they're locked up at Fulton Jail. That's the same jail that that wife and Lucci is locked up in, and they've had static with him for like a big minute. Even the feds are trying to pin that, wife and Lucci. I didn't even know wife and Lucci like a few months ago, like 2 months ago, he got stabbed up in the pin. So apparently they're trying to say that Young Thug was involved in that, and Young Thug also got hit with a few weapons and drug charges because they raided his house. All right, hood nigga special, whatever. But Rico, not a speeding ticket. What the fuck? What do you, man? And they had this shit. The state of Atlanta, because this is a state Rico case, which is a Rico is never a good thing. Racketeering charges is never a good thing because it's. I know, like, I have one of my homeboys that we've been kind of following this. One of the things that, man, I don't know what laptop doing. One of the things that, me and him have been kind of like, guaning about is that, like, he said, there gotta be somebody that would, like, Young Thug got money. There's gotta be somebody that would, like, take the charges. And I'm like, first of all, I don't know no nigga in my life that I'm willing to take potentially 30 years to life to. Like, 5 to 10 years, maybe you might find some people. 30, nigga? 30. Think of it like this. This is how I always think of jail. Like, think of it like this. Imagine you go to jail, right? Like, you go to jail in 1995, right? 2005, 2015, bro, you would still be in jail if you were doing a 30-year bin. 1995. You know how much life has changed since 1995 to now? Bro, we got mini computers in our pockets now, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, what? Like, I'd be heated like a motherfucker if I had to sit in jail for 30 years. Bro, I'd be heated if I had to sit in there for like 30 days, nigga. But 30 years? Hell no. They ain't no money in the world that's gonna let me sit there for that long. On top of that, let me try to explain it for a lot of people that may not understand what a Rico is. The best way to explain a Rico is that, like, imagine you cheat on your girl, right? Like, you cheat on your girl, she come back, she got screenshots, she got audio recordings of your phone calls, she got GPS locations of where you were, she got her friends tracking your ass down, they know, they got a friend, you got one of your homeboys you think you'd be down with, that motherfucker snitched for like a motherfucker because he thought he was gonna get some cheeks, you know what I'm saying? You got that, you got like another, like, she got fucking, like, she got your Instagram data from your DMs and shit. Like, she got all that in paper. Like, and unlike with your girl, you can't do like the toxic man thing to get out of it. Like, oh, you gonna choose that very concrete and very sophisticated evidence over your boy? That's crazy. But yeah, like, that's sort of the best way to describe a Rico. Like, the feds have a good idea that whatever that they're accusing you of doing, that you did, or you're involved in some capacity, and that's it. It's a very weird charge because it really can go like a big umbrella. You know what I'm saying? Like, Tutu's, it's really just a big umbrella that casts. It was made for the mafia, so it just cast to get as many people under it as possible, that even if you may have not done anything, and that's the case, because like Young Thug, all those, it's like, and bro, also another thing, when the feds come to you with that big ass stack, fucking high school novel worth of shit that has your name in it, your phone number, your locations, your Instagram, your music, Oh, they've been hunting for this one in a while, because they're trying to test YSL as like a legit street gang, like Young Slime Life or Young Slat Life, which is, slime is a term, used with the Bloods and all that shit. It's been very coined now because of Young Thug and because of Gunna and because of the YSL, the Young Stoner Life label. So 88-page indictment, 56 counts, like 26 plus people are involved. Pretty much everyone that was involved with YSL. Shit, if you fucking, was the weed roller, the blunt roller for fucking YSL, you got hit with this shit too. It's like I said, state RICO, so that's one you'd rather want than a Fed, because the Fed one, you might be fucked. Like, I ain't gonna lie, if the Fed's on your ass with this, you might be fucked. But like, as I was saying, like, you got the Feds there, and although Young Thug and Gunna, their names on Gunna's name is basically in any of these crimes. Young Thug is in like maybe 3 of the 56 or whatever the case, but they're trying to hit him with the kingpin status. They're trying to hit Young Thug like, hey, yo, he's the head coach of this shit. He's the starting quarterback of this shit. Like, he's the one calling all the plays. He's the one that's, doing all of this. Like, apparently the biggest one is that, he rented a car that was going to be used in the murder of someone. So, if that is the case and they can prove that he was involved in any of this shit, that man is like, he gonna be seeing time. Especially, I'm telling you, there's going to be snitches involved in this. Somebody ratting. Cause think about it like this: you're dealing with young, 20-something odd people. Young Thug's 30, I believe, but like, Gunna's 27 if I'm being correct. But like, you have guys in this shit that like, most of these dudes are like early, mid, late 20s, maybe early 30s. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got a lot of dudes that are really, really young, and you're like, if the police, especially, how, state polices get down, if they coming through, they got like a whole bunch. They got 88 pages. They literally calculate shit that you probably have forgotten. They calculating everything. They got everything you said, and especially your social medias too. Hey, yo, brother, players, my boy said it best, and I'm gonna repeat what he said. If once you make that million, once you blow up in this rap shit or whatever you do, whatever you blowing up and getting your money or whatever. Like, once you get it, you gotta go. Whatever you gotta do, like pay out of it, whatever. Talk to your OG and pay whatever you gotta get out of it. You just gotta get the fuck out of it, because, bro, your name too big. You can't. You're not just anybody. You're not just anybody now. You a somebody. And they gonna want to make an example, especially in a state case. They gonna want to make an example out of you, and I think that's what they're gonna try to do. They're gonna try to make an example out of Young Thug and Gunna. Maybe a lot of this shit is probably a little fugazi. Like, I doubt all 56 shit's gonna 56 like things they're accusing them of. That shit's gonna stick. I doubt that's the case, but nigga, some of these shits will stick. And bro, when you see a young 27-year-old person that, bro, imagine you 22 and the judge give you 30 years. And it reminded me of the Bobby Shmurda shit, because the Bobby Shmurda shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, Bobby, like, I remember I was like 14, 15 when when GS9 all got popped in New York. And bro, they were giving niggas football, like giving niggas prime Ezekiel Elliott rushing yard numbers, rookie year Ezekiel Elliott type beat. Like, they were giving these motherfuckers, like, I saw niggas getting like 90 years or some crazy shit like that. Like, imagine like something like 22, 25 years old, 27, 28, even 32. And the judge say, hey, yo, we gonna give you 30 years. You wanna spend as much of your life in jail, or you can spend more of your life in jail than out of jail. That is something that a lot of people do not want to hear. They do not want to feel that type of pain, especially when you in jail and then you claiming like, because YSL, like, they're claiming to the gang, like, you claim that's blood, you know what I'm saying? That's blood. Like, yo, I think Bobby Shmurda said it in an interview. He's like, imagine you go, I think it was like on the $1 Million Worth of Game podcast. He said like, yo, imagine you in a cell and the thing that you jacking gonna get you killed. The thing that you jacking gonna get you popped. And motherfuckers will test that. They don't care how big of a name you are. To them, yo, you're gonna be locked up with people who may not even really be, they know they probably never going home ever again. Like, their freedom is over. They belong to the state now. That's all I gotta say. And yo, social media, back to the social media shit. Yo, y'all gotta, I'm not gonna tell what a motherfucker is supposed to do, because I think something that, like, it's been kind of in my mind a while. Like, a lot of this shit is like this shit's from 2012 this dating back from 2012. This is like before Young Thug and Gunna ever got on. Like, Gunna really like got on in like 2017, 2018. You know, Young Thug really got on like 2015. So you know, like, and there's that in between period before you're like, if you hear that, I'm sorry. There's that like in between period of like when you're still blowing up, but you're still very close-ish. You're like you're on the verge of superstardom, but you ain't really make it yet. And you ain't making that type of money yet. You ain't really made that situation yet. I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, so you still hanging around with all the same dudes that you probably get in trouble with all these dudes since you was like in grade school. But now you could actually really face some real time with this shit. And like said, them captions, them lyrics, all this. The DA even said that, yo, social media was a viable, reliable ass tool. It's easy to them. They got whole subdivisions. FBI got whole subdivisions to just look up rap music. And yeah, are there racial undertones in it? Absolutely. And is there a slippery slope when it comes to using song lyrics and captions as literal law? And like, let's be real here. Like, if Young Thug was making country music, I guarantee his song lyrics are not gonna be used against him. Like, if he was motherfucker making like pretty beautiful thugger girls or whatever the fuck music, like country ass music, like, he probably not gonna be getting, they're not using those song lyrics like that. You gotta move a little more slicker than that. You know what I'm saying? You gotta move a little slicker. And I'm not gonna talk about like why these guys, they making money and they still doing the same shit that they were doing when they were broke. It's a big cycle behind it, and maybe it's too much for this particular video, and I don't really feel like talking about it in this particular video. But like, you know, a lot of it is like these dudes are doing this before they even got on. So like, once they get on, they're probably not gonna really, like, unless something like really happens or like they get into like a big bag, they're probably not gonna really like stop it. They ain't gonna stop it because maybe they feel like they can't leave out of it. I don't know, man. There's a lot to really like digest with something like this. And also, like, the music scene could take a big, especially Atlanta, because potentially Lil Baby and Playboi Carti are getting hit with Rico charges. And let me say this about Playboi Carti, because I can only be a fly on the wall when the people in the FBI are trying to, like, people in that state police are trying to like decipher whatever the hell Playboi Carti be saying, because half the time his fans can't even really decipher what he's saying. And I saw a whole Twitter thread last night of somebody put like Playboi, all the shit that Playboi Carti referencing homicide gang or whatever the fuck it is. I'm like, yo, bro, Playboi Carti really got the only fan base in music that will snitch on him. But my gosh, but yeah, like, it could be a big hit if that actually happens. I don't know if it will. If that actually happens, that's a big hit, because if you want to be real, like, Lil Baby, Playboi Carti, Young Thug, Gunna, they've been really the pillars of hip hop at least for like the mainstream for like the last couple years. Like, they're like the before you get to, like, after the Drake and the Kendrick Lamar and the J. Cole's, you have those guys. And they've been big staples of hip hop the last couple of years. No way, it's along with guys like NBA Youngboy, and along with guys like maybe even like a DaBaby in a sense, or a Meg Thee Stallion. So it's definitely could be a big hit in the Atlanta music scene, especially because the feds they're trying to catch on, saying that, oh, like, they're trying to they're gang members and trying to create gang activity and whatever. Now, Gunna does have a case to fight. Gunna has a case to kind of have, because, like I said earlier in the video, like, he's not really tried for anything. The only charge he has is, as of what I've read or what I've heard, is that he's pretty much he's affiliated with YSL, but then he could be like, well, you know, I'm signed to YSL, the label, like the actual LLC, because that is true. YSL Young Stoner Life is a real music record label. That's, I think, a subsection of 300 Entertainment. I hope that's the case. I'm not looking it up right now, but like 300 Entertainment or Universal or whatever the case may be. So he has a case to fight. It's not like it's nothing, but it's not like, but they could also be like, well, you're throwing up gang signs or like whatever the case may be, or song lyrics or Instagram captions. And if that's the basis of their argument, then they probably don't have a strong case against Gunna. He might have to do some jail time, but I don't know if it's going to be as much. Young Thug might, on the other hand, he might be fucked, because they have like everything, not just song lyrics and Instagram captions, which are like, you know, you can Aussie fight that under, like, maybe not guys of freedom of speech, but also you can say that all the guys of artistic expression and musical expression and basically his art. Essentially, you can't. It's that, but also the fact that they have call logs, they have like phone records. Apparently, these niggas were doing hits and then calling him right after. Like, they have a lot on Young Thug. So like his lawyers gotta be monsters of the midway. I'm talking Legion of Boom levels of on point, on timing, because if they ain't, then Young Thug potentially could be seeing life. That might really be the case. He might be seeing like potentially 25 plus years in the bin. Like, it is crazy, man. And that's kind of like all the thoughts I really have. I'm just like, maybe I make a longer form video talking about like what I think about like song lyrics and captions being used as evidence in court, because personally I have my opinions about it. I've seen extremes on both sides, and it's something that I've been kind of yearning for. Like I said, I've always believed that, like, but back to just kind of final point is that, like, like Young Thug, mostly Young Thug and Gunna, like they grew up in probably the most dangerous parts of Atlanta, and they basically adapted to their environment to really survive the environment. And if you've been doing something a certain way for so many years, just because you get some money, it doesn't exactly always mean you're gonna get out of it. It doesn't mean you're gonna stop doing the thing that you did, or turn your back on the people that held you down when you had nothing. So it's a slippery slope when we have these conversations, and oftentimes it does lead into like a racial, no sugarcoating. It just leads into a racist sense of black people not knowing and can't help themselves but to commit crime, which is not the case. It's literally becoming your environment. And just because you get some money, it may magnify what you already were before and the things that you did to survive. So I have my thing, but at the same time, it's also not me saying like if it is true of the things that I'm being accused of, yeah, like, Young Thug did this to himself. Like, you gotta be, you can't be talking about this on social media and on, like, because the feds be watching. And I'll lead this off by, before I get into the last thing, I'll lead this off by saying Ice-T, I hope I'm saying it right, Ice-T, yeah, he said it best. Like, like, it's easy to convince the streets that you a real street nigga. It's very hard to convince the feds otherwise, especially if they're already in there wanting to get you locked up. That's all I'm gonna say. And before that, I want to end this off with saying rest in peace to Lil Keed. 24 years old, cause of death still very much unknown. I wish the best for him and pray for his family and family of his and his loved ones, people that cared about him, because regardless of what you think, like, these people, they did care about him. They had people who did care about him, people in YSL that did care about him. And I go and be like, a lot of those guys learned that one of your brothers, they essentially died a couple days after y'all got all arrested. He was the only person out that didn't get arrested. It is a sad time. So wishing well for his family and his loved ones and people that cared about him and all that, and his fans, because you build a personal attachment with the music, and You know, I go listen to some of his songs. It was crazy to me because I was literally like playing I learned about like 2 a.m. I was playing like video games, playing GTA or some shit, and like I was literally listening to his Trapped on Cleveland 3 mixtape that same day, probably like a few hours earlier. So yeah, rest in peace. And that's really all I got for this video. Thank you guys for listening, thank you guys for watching. Like I said, maybe if it's all over the place, I apologize. This is like one of my first these type of videos with the discussion. I don't really write like a script or have something like written. I just have points I want to get to, and that's really it. And I actually kind of like this type of style of making videos, so I might do it more with other videos, who knows. Thanks, and as always, take care of your chicken, take care of your energy, take care of yourself, take care of your peoples, and have a good day and stay easy.